Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is IB Mkwanazi, and welcome once again to Networking Tutorial. So today we'll be doing a basic serial connection configuration on our Cisco devices. So with us here on the topology, as you can see, we have two switches and two routers. So one switch is connected to one router, and also the other switch is connected to another router. However, the routers are also connected to each other using a serial connection. So what we are doing today is to use a command we call CDP neighbors. Okay, so that is the Cisco discovery protocol. This is a protocol used to discover the neighboring devices which you are able to connect to. So if you can see on the diagram what I'm currently doing, it's logging into the switch and then typing the command after I've entered into the global configuration mode to see which device is connected to switch 1. And as you saw, only router 1 is being discovered by switch 1, and now I'm in router number 1. And then when I run the very same command, show CDP neighbors, what I'm able to discover there is that I'm from router number 1, I'm connected only to switch 1, or the router can only see switch number 1. All right, so what we want to do now is to make sure that our router number 1 is also able to discover router number 2. So in order to do this, what we do first is we want to see which interfaces are up. And as you can see that the serial interface 0, it says it's administratively down, so meaning router 1 cannot effectively communicate with router number 2. So what we want to achieve is to ensure that the interface serial 0 is up. So we run a command. We say we first of all configure the terminal, and then from configuring the terminal, then where we will say interface serial 0, and then we will command it to not shut down. So this will bring up the interface serial 0, and then in this way it will be able then to discover the router which is router number 2. All right, so moving right along, then I'm hopping into another device here. Now I'm hopping into router number 2, and then from router number 2 I also run the very same commands. I enable which is from the privilege mode, and then I go into the global configuration mode. Then from that I run the command show CDP neighbors to see which devices can I discover from router number 2, and then I can also see that I only discover switch number 2, which is connected on the fast Ethernet port. Then from there on I configure the terminal. Let me show IP interface brief first, so that we can be able to see if serial 0 here is also administratively down. So we need to bring this interface up so that it can also be up for it to communicate with router number 1. Then to do this, I configure the terminal and then interface serial 0. And then from there on, I say no shutdown. Then this command then brings up the interface, the serial 0 interface. Now, as you can see, it says that serial 0 state has changed to up. So now you can see even on the simulation that there's a green arrow now showing on router number 1 that okay, we are able then to see that this device is up. And then now from router number 2, when I say show CDP neighbors, I can see that okay, it's not yet up. It will take time a bit, but after just a few more seconds, then it will be able to turn up. But let's see from router number 1. So when I exit and then exit once again, so from there, I write the configuration so that it saves the configuration. So then when I run the command show CDP neighbors, I can see that now I'm able to see or to discover switch number 1 and router number 2, which at first I was not able to discover that. Then if I do the very same thing on router number 2, it should be up now. If I run the same command show CDP neighbors, I should be able to see router number 1 and switch number 2. So in this way, then our devices will be able to effectively communicate with each other. However, I hope this has been informative, and thank you so much for subscribing. There's more content that is upcoming for you. Stay tuned.